Hello everyone, Cyberhawk over here. So what I'm going to do that today, I'm just going to show you how you can deploy a FortiGate VM, which is the FortiGate Virtual Appliance in a Hyper-V environment. So as you know that like FortiGate basically comes in two forms. One is the physical appliance, which is the physical FortiGate firewall, and the another one is a virtual appliance that you can use in your virtual environment. Right. So first of all, you need to go into the FortiCloud, and by the way, this comes with a trial license, which is about I think 6 months valid. So you can simply download that from FortiCloud. So for that one, you just need to make your account. So once you make up your account, then you can come over here and select the FortiGate as a product, and you can over here see there are like two downloads. One is the new deployment, the another one is the upgrade from previous version. In a platform, you need to select that as a Hyper-V, but you can select like the different platforms whichever you want to run. Today we're going to show that on a Hyper-V, so I have selected Hyper-V, and then you download that up, right? Second thing you need to open up is the documentation. So as you can see that we're going to deploy the 7.6.4, so we need to follow this documentation, which is this 7.6.0, which is the base version of that FortiGate firewall, right? So I have got that downloaded. So first of all, what I will do that I will open that download, uh, sitting over here, and I will extract that. Extract, and then extract it over here. Right, so I have got that 40 OS disk. So basically what that um, download has it's basically just got the disk, and the disk code all the operating system of that FortiGate appliance and other checksums and the firmware. Everything is bundled in that OS. So as per the instruction, you can see that it says like go to the hyper manager. So what I'm going to do that I'm just going to the hyper manager over here, and then I'm just doing the instruction side by side, so you can just follow that same thing, right? And you can see that like how you create a new virtual machine. It's pretty easy. Just go, first of all, I connect to the server. So I'm just gonna connect to the local server. Oops. Oh yeah. Okay, so I need to actually enable the management service. Let me just quickly check that if the service is running or not. All Hyper-V. Oh yeah, over here you can see that all these services are still pending, so I'm just gonna run that up. uh, right. Okay, shut down, and then the store. Let's check now if that can connect. Okay, the Hyper-V American Small could not access. Is incompatible. Okay, make the. So let's fix this Hyper-V issue. I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna run the PowerShell, and first of all, I'm just gonna run this command. Okay. Mm, It's gonna install that Hyper-V with the PowerShell. I've already done that, but let's just reinstall it. So do you want to restart the computer? So I'm just gonna say yes, because it needs a restart. Let's get it restarted and I'll be back. Cool, so I'm back now. Let's check Hyper-V. Hopefully this time it will work. Oh yeah, oh here you can see that it just picked up already that Hyper-V manager. So let's open that documentation again. Right. So over here you can see that it just says like you just need to create a new virtual machine. It's pretty easy. You right click on your server, then go to the new, click on a virtual machine. And then it says new virtual machine. That's a wizard just comes up. Click next. And then you specify the name. I'm just gonna name as FGD, which is the FortiGate short form. I'm just gonna save it to the default location for now for this demo purpose. Just go next, generation 1, right? And then you just go next, and in the memory you can just give like 2048, which is the 2 GB memory. You can give it like 4 GB if you have more, but the minimum requirement for a FortiGate VM is just a 1 GB. So let at least just give like 2 GB, and then click next. And in a adapter, you just connect the default switch, like, or whatever switch you have created. In my environment it's just a default as of now. And then you go next, and in the hard drive, pretty much what we're gonna do that we're just gonna map the existing drive. So you remember that we have downloaded that appliance, and that appliance got a hard disk in it. So go over here, and it's sitting in my download folder. I'm just gonna open that up, right? And then you go next, and over here you can see that that summary pretty much matches that same, right? And I'm just gonna hit finish. Cool. So it's just gonna configuring the memory, network adapter, and mapping that disk to the virtual machine, and we are good to go. Cool. This is how you deploy that, but what we need to do that we need to do the configuration as well, right? So first of all, let's just turn on that virtual machine. So I'm gonna connect to that, right click, hit connect, and then start. Okay, so again, right, so as you can see that we have built up the virtual machine. Let's just restart that again and click on revert. And here you go, you can see that it's starting a virtual machine now. Nice, so it's booting up. Just give it a bit of time to boot that up, and I'll just open the instruction on the page on the left hand side. So as we already know that we have deployed the appliance, so what we need to do that after the deployment, we need to connect the FortiGate to the network so the traffic can process, and at the same time, we need GUI access for the web browser to so we can manage that firewall, right? And also we just need that network traffic to flow to the internet so that a license can be applied, which is the trial license, right? So right now we just gonna have only a CLI access until we find out the IP address, which we're gonna do that in a minute. Let's just see once it just rebooted. Cool. So over here you can see that it's just loading up the firmware right now on that hard disk. booting from that firmware. Root fs is the firmware image which it says okay, and loading that up. Just give it a minute. Cool. So over here you can see that system is starting and it's formatting the partitions, and it has just created like two different partitions, scanning that up. And once it's like all done with all the checks, then it's just gonna show up the login screen. Well, this is just only for the first time. It's not gonna happen again and again. This is happening because it's like a first time we are booting up from that appliance image. So over here you can see that this is the serial number. So what will happen that once you log in to the CLI and you get the GUI access and you log in with your Forti Cloud ID on that FortiGate, it will register this serial number under your Fortinet Cloud um, portal with a trial license of I think it's a 6 months or 3 months, but yeah, that will register under your account. So as we already know that this is the fresh install, so always there is a admin as a username and no password. So once you see the password login, you just click hit enter again, and it will ask you to set up your new password. So what we're gonna do there, we're just gonna set up the new password over here. It's gonna ask you for 2 times. Cool. So once you're done, it's just gonna verify the password and writing into the memory. Cool. So over here you can see that license invalid due to exceeding allowed one CPUs and this one. Well, that you can just ignore that thing. So on your left side you can see that it's asking you to configure that port. What we're gonna do there, we just not gonna do right now this part. First of all, we're just gonna check that what IP address is already assigned to this appliance, right? So let's quickly check that. So we just need to go to the configs interface, and we type edit and then space and then question mark. And over here you can see that port 1 is already assigned with this IP address, which is the 192.168.152.208, right? And if we edit this port 1, and then hit enter and type show, over here you can see that port 1 is set up on a DHCP mode by default, and that has been assigned with this IP address, and HTTP and HTTPS SSH, that's all enabled. So what we're gonna do over here, we're just gonna just type 192.168.15, oops, sorry, 192.168.152.208, and then hit enter. And here you go, you just got the access to your FortiGate GUI, which is the web interface. I'm just gonna refresh that again. Just gonna take a time. Okay, so this will comes up as a warning, which is like the obvious one, and then you just hit proceed. For some reason it's having an issue. Let's just try that in Edge, a different browser. Just gonna try 192.168.152.208. Okay, well that's super weird. Let's just give a one fresh reboot, right? Uh, just execute reboot, yes, and system is rebooting. Let's just give a one reboot because it just like boot up from the fresh image, and then we can try that again. I'm just gonna ping that just to check like there's a no packet loss or anything, which is blocking the web GUI to load. Uh, right, okay. So we can see the ping now, right? Let's just give a refresh. Oh, yeah, here you go. So you got that login screen to be popped up. You should be able to see that over here as well. For some reason, this 192. Yeah, over here, cool. So what we're gonna do that admin and then password and you logged in. Cool. So you're in now. So we're just gonna say never over here. So first of all, it's just gonna ask you whether you got a license file or not, or you wanna do the evaluation license. In that, as I mentioned, that what you need to do that over here, you can see that that license invalid due to exceeding allowed one CPU and 2 GB RAM. So you can just ignore that one. That's not a problem. So the maximum is one CPU and 2 GB that support. But what you need to do, you just click on evaluation license and then you just enter your email address over here and then password of your 40 net cloud login. Remember that you need to enter the credentials of your 40 care, which is your 40 net cloud login from where you have downloaded the appliance, right? Once you do that, you enter the credential, you hit OK over here, it will activate the license, right? I'm just gonna pause the video over here because I just don't wanna put my credentials. Right, so I have entered the credentials over here. So what will happen that it just applied the license, it fetched the license and then applied to the FortiGate and then FortiGate rebooted it. So over here you can see that FortiGate is rebooting now. So this is what happened. When you enter your credentials, you request for the trial license, license get fetched and then applied to the firmware and then appliance rebooted so that it can apply the license and the features that you will receive as your trial license. Cool. So it's rebooted now. Let's just give a refresh. The web page. And here you go. Then you log in. Yeah, for some reason it's just like doing the weird stuff, but it should be alright. Oh, okay. I just need to refresh that as well. And then go on over here as well. It just popped up. Oh, come on. I think it's just a bit slow, but here you go. You are in now, and this is the first time dashboard. So over here you can see that there's a tick on your change password because you already set that up, and then dashboard setup, automatic patch and upgrades, or migrate the config to the 40 converter. If you have like a previous appliance which is outdated, or you are gonna migrate that, you can just do that. I'm just gonna click next. Over here, like I do not have like any configuration that I want to migrate. I'm just gonna click next. So upgrade, I don't want to upgrade that, right? And then save, acknowledge, hit OK. I don't want to automatically upgrade that, so I'm just gonna select like comprehensive over here, click OK, and it automatically gives you a nice dashboard. And over here you can see that this is your FortiGate. It is a complete FortiGate with a trial license applied that you can easily use as your real FortiGate for all your traffics, for your internet, for your home setup. And that's it. In my next video, I will show you how you can configure that FortiGate to use as your router, as your firewall to protect your home or your work environment, wherever you want to use it. Just keep following Cyberhawk for more videos related to the cybersecurity.